So today I want to talk about a crazy scientific theory and how wrong it is. So recently I was watching a Neil deGrasse Tyson video, and he mentions, but first he says, some people believe that every electron around every atom in the universe is one electron. And they believe this for two reasons. One, that we've never measured the electron's mass and size. We've only measured its field. And that's true. And the other is of superpositioning. But this would be superpositioning a Google times a Google and beyond superpositioning. And it violates the laws of physics. First of all, for every electron around every atom to be the same electron would mean that that atom would have to be popping in and out of existence so fast in order to be in every atom at all times, enough to hold each atom together, that it would have to be moving faster than the speed of light. And we know that no matter can move faster than the speed of light, as far as our research shows right now. And then there's the problem of, if they're popping in and out of existence, the electrons, because if all of them are the same electron, that means that the amount of energy field that is the electron field that would be put into any atom would be so small, the atoms would literally just fall apart. Nothing we see, our planets, the sun, our Milky Way galaxy, none of the galaxies, none of that matter could exist because the electron field would be so weak, popping in and out of existence that much, and dispersing the electron field's energy amongst all atoms in the entire universe at the same time, that it could not hold matter together. So we would not exist. Nothing in this room would exist. Our planet wouldn't exist. The sun wouldn't exist. The universe wouldn't exist the way that it is. So this is a crazy idea. And one of the reasons why it's also crazy is that we can't measure the electron as matter because the size of the electron is in the margin of error of the metric system itself. Every device ever made to measure something has 2 generations of margin of error built within it. It is unescapable. And then when you take that device and you measure something, the act of doing so also can give it a 3rd generation margin of error. And the reason why this is an issue is because for decades, physicists have said with their actions, and some have literally said, shut up and calculate. Don't worry about what a measurement is. Don't worry about what fundamentally makes up a measurement and our measurement systems. Just shut up and measure. And because of that, we haven't fixed the problems and anomalies in the metric system. If they would have done so, I wouldn't have had to do so myself, and I wouldn't have had to publish a book on it. But they have it, and they don't. And this is why they can't measure the mass of the electron. They will never be able to do so until they start worrying about the problems and anomalies that exist in the metric system. And you're probably thinking, well, why does this bother me so much? Well, I'm losing sleep over this, actually. When I'm sleeping, my brain a lot of the time is awake as if I'm awake, even though I'm asleep. I will think about things and remember those things as if I was awake. My brain will process problems and solutions while I'm asleep, and I will remember them. And so last night I was thinking about this stuff while I was sleeping, and my brain was imaging what the electron field would do under this theoretical idea and the problems that it would cause, and the laws of physics that this theory violates. And so after 4 hours of sleep last night, I woke up and I was like, I can't sleep anymore. My brain would not let me sleep. And then I got up, I had breakfast, I tried going back to sleep, and I would wake up every 10 or 20 minutes because my brain was cycling through the same stuff of all the problems of this theory. I feel like we, as a scientific community, need to change the scientific process, because higher education has the problem of educating people out of their creativity. And since all tests only have one right answer, people are trained to do things only one way, which means when we create scientific research teams, it's easy for them to create their own groupthink bubbles. And in order to overcome this and to stop this problem in the scientific process, we need to adopt a new element to the scientific process. And that is where we take one person that is not trained in that field and we put them on the scientific team for research. And their contribution is to ask why. Why are we doing it this way? Why not this other way? And to bring fresh ideas and thoughts to the process. But when you have a bunch of people whose degree is solely on that one thing, or they nearly have a degree on that one thing, and they're all working on that research project, they will not have any fresh, new, legitimate ideas on that subject unless they stumble upon it because it's so big they practically fall on their face to it. We need to have a change to the scientific process where we put someone who's not experienced on them. Some of the greatest minds in our history were outsiders to their field. They didn't have the formal education. They were just curious, and their brain just thought about things, and they came up with new stuff that benefited us tremendously. But we don't see that kind of benefit anymore because we've structured science in a way that we have denied ourselves those opportunities. And because of that, we get groupthink ideas like this idea that every electron around every atom in the universe is one electron. Whatever they're smoking to come up with that idea, they need to be sharing it with the rest of us, because that's got to be some crazy ass shit that they're smoking to come up with that idea. When I can explain why we can't measure the electron simply, easy, and with science, instead of coming up with a crazy idea like this, simply because of superpositioning and we can't measure the mass of the electron. Can't measure the mass of the electron because scientists are always like, shut up and calculate, don't worry about what a measurement is. But I worry about what a measurement is. And I look at quantum physics through the eyes of metrology, and that is why I am able to look at it this way. All right, I'm done ranting. Until next time.